Good morning, everyone. Happy Top Talent Tuesday. I hope everybody is doing well. Your Top Talent Tuesday is off to a great start. Mine certainly is. I am April Halliburton of All4HR and Business Solutions, and we're here on Top Talent Tuesday. Just dropping in with some tips. Hope you got your coffee. I have mine's on my third cup. I don't know how many you're on. Hopefully you're not on the third one though. But happy Top Talent Tuesday, everyone. You know I'm April Halliburton of All4HR and Business Solutions, and we are a HR consulting firm. Been in business for almost 13 years now, and we service small and medium-sized enterprises. If you haven't had a chance, hey, go on over to on Twitter at All4HR and follow us. We are on Tumblr at All4HR. We're on LinkedIn at All4HR and Business Solutions. And we are on Facebook at All4HR and Business Solutions. We have our wonderful Facebook group, our free Facebook group, which is the HR Success Hub. We have a couple programs going on. We're not talk about those right now. Right now, we're just gonna chat about some compliance, share some compliance tips for hiring. Okay, so we have circulating our HR, the ultimate HR audit checklist, and so we've been talking yesterday. If you didn't get a chance to, go on over and on our page, and you can see the tips that we shared on with regard to your onboarding new hires. And so today we're talking about what questions that you need to ask and answer. Okay, when you are hiring, when you're actually bringing people on board. And, we talked about yesterday that onboarding is an experience, right? It's an experience. It's not just putting individuals in the seat, but it's keeping individuals in your seat. Okay. And so let me share. Do I have this turned up? There we go. I hope you can hear me. I hope I haven't been quiet all this time. But anyway, so that's what we're talking about today. We're going further into what questions you need to be asking and answering when you are auditing your HR practices and procedures. Okay. So again, go back and check the ones we shared yesterday. And so today we're talking about your job descriptions, which is extremely important during your hiring process. When you are onboarding individuals, when you make the decision to hire, the first part of the hiring process experience begins with your job description before you even contact the very first candidate. Okay, the first thing is that job description. Remember that when you're hiring for a position, make sure the job. Shh, 1 second, folks. Shh. Make sure. That's my little police. Okay, that's enough. Shh. Sorry about that, folks. That's our little Jaxel. So anyway, you want to make sure that if that position is being refilled or filled, make sure the position job description has been audited, so that you know if any of the obligations, the task and responsibilities have changed, if the individual if that position, the supervisor has changed, if the hours have changed, any task or responsibility has changed. And the reason, one of the biggest reasons for that leads to individuals leaving their positions, new hires, within the first 30, 60, or 90 days is due to incomplete job description, incomplete or incorrect job description. So it's very important that you are auditing that job description before you fill that position. So that's the very first one. So you want to make sure that job description is up to date. Secondly, your I-9 forms. Make sure that your I-9 forms are signed within 3 days of the start date of your new hire start date. Okay, and if the position is being offered internally, okay, again, you want to make sure it's updated. Okay. Um, and reference checks. A lot of people don't do reference checks these days. I don't understand that. I know you may feel like it is time consuming, and it is. But if you put processes in place, that will help streamline that process. Okay, but you check your rep to make sure you're checking those references, because if individuals are giving you the names and contact information for individuals that don't exist, okay, or information that's incorrect, that's a huge red flag. Okay, that's a huge red flag. So if they give you three names or references, and you can't reach any of them, the numbers are disconnected, or you've reached out to them, you've left several messages, and the reference has not returned your call, that's a red flag. That's a huge red flag. Okay, so keep that in mind. So you want to make sure your process, again, is streamlined as much as possible. And I know, I've had within the last probably, I've run across probably 20 businesses that are still using applications and putting them in manila folders. They're not storing them electronically. Okay, that makes your job harder. Not to mention, it's much harder to not be in compliance, okay, if you are not keeping track of that your I-9s are in a specific area, right? Separate from your applications, right? And so these are things that are going to make you, as a business owner, right, more efficient. When you have those processes in place, people, a lot of businesses think, oh my God, here we go hiring. But when you have processes in place, those are there for the protection, checking references of your employees, your company, and your customers. Okay, so make sure you have an HR information system to house your documents. Okay, so that when you are sending out the employment package, you're sending out the same employment package for whatever position, making sure that there's a job description included in that package. So of course, the job description for the receptionist is going to differ from the job description for the HR specialist. So you want to make sure those job descriptions are included in your job packages. And so that when you interview, you make sure you ask them the question, did you have a chance to review your job description? Okay, if you're not, take a moment to do so now. And are there any questions that you may have, right? Okay, so those are questions that you want to ask and answer when you are auditing your your hiring process. Okay. Again, are your applicants required to fill out your applications? Applicants are required to fill out applications. Okay. That's it. It's critical. Okay. Our applicants asked to voluntarily identify their affirmative action information You know, that information is included on your application, but for the most part, that information is required for businesses that are doing like that are federal contractors and things of that nature. Okay. Do employment applications refrain from requesting inappropriate information? So we have the ban the box law. That's right. And it's for most states now. Okay. So the ban, and you know what the ban the box is. So that is for individuals that do not are not required to disclose if they have a criminal record. Okay, so they don't have to they're not required to disclose that information anymore. And so that information comes after they are hired and you do the background check. And again, as discussed yesterday, the background check is contingent on the person, on whether the person is they pass the background check. And so you don't have, it's not a thing where because someone has a criminal record, you're not going to hire them. That's discrimination. That's unfair. Okay, so that is done on a case-by-case basis, and we can talk more about that at a later time. Are all new hires reported to your state new hire reporting agency? You have to report your all new hires within 14 days to the new hire reporting agency, and that is a means of individuals. So they are able to locate individuals who may have changed jobs, and this is for child support reasons. Okay. Are I-9s and medical information kept separate? Make sure they're kept separate. Even if it's electronically, make sure your I-9s are kept separately. Do new employees fill out W-4s? Okay. And if you have I-9s and you're rehiring, are you completing you're rehiring an individual, you're required to have them fill out a new I-9 form. And then the latter part of that document, it indicates that this is a rehire. And then you fill out that information as well. You have to forgive me. I have a bit of a cold, sore throat, me and my son both. Okay. So those are some questions you want to ask. Okay. Those are questions you want to ask when you are hired. Are you being compliant? Right? Are you being compliant? Are you when you have processes in place, as opposed to having individuals applications in manila folders, information written on sticky notes and things like that, that makes it harder on you. Because believe it or not, you're working in your business as opposed to on your business, and we don't want that, right? That's when you cringe every time you think about HR, right? You just, I gotta do something with HR. Okay, so keep those things in mind. And we're going to recap those just right quick for you. If you have some questions, be sure to drop them below. I'd love to hear them. And if you watch it on the replay, be sure to let us know where you're watching from, and drop your HR questions below. We love HR questions. Okay, so we're going to recap right quick. Do your you have updated job descriptions. Updated being the key word. Updated. Okay, your job description should be reviewed and updated yearly, but every time an individual leaves a position before you hire for that new hire, review that job description and make sure and make whatever and update it to whatever changes may have happened with regard to tasks, responsibilities, reporting, all of that information. So make sure they're up to date. That's critical. Your I-9 forms are reviewed annually. Your job, if you are offering jobs to current employees, make sure that information again is updated on the job description. Are you checking references? And if you're doing so, keep that information. It's really great to just have a form that you can just ask questions. You don't have to do a 25, 30, 45-minute interview for a reference. Just have a quick question, a questionnaire, so that helps you know who you're hiring. Okay, that helps you. Again, and it's a huge red flag, because if an applicant gives you 3 references and you can't reach anyone, that's a huge flag. Huge. Okay. You want to monitor your turnover rates. I'm redoing the Excel calculator, and I'll get that out to you shortly. And is your selection process consistent with uniform guidelines, so that they're compliant with your state and federal rules and regulations or laws? Are you remembering that if you're a ban the box state, then you're not supposed to have individuals identifying themselves or disclosing their if they have a criminal history on your application. Okay, so that's huge too as well. And are all your applicants spit it out required to fill out applications? I cannot tell you how many small businesses I have seen that do not actually have applications. Can you believe that? It's true. Don't do that. Okay, that can get you in a world of trouble. Not to mention, that is keeping you from protecting your business, your employees, and your clients. Okay, so make sure filling out an application, they have to be able to, you have a uniform employment package, and that includes that application, right? The application, the I-9, the W-4, the job description. If you are requiring a non-compete agreement, that's included. If you're including a non-disclosure agreement, that's in there. If you're offering health insurance, that information is in there. Or usually that health insurance is done once they're onboarded. But all of that, those are documents that should be filled out, that are required to be filled out by all new applicants. If you are hiring independent contractors, or let's not forget, if you have an employment agreement, that's included as well. But those should be consistently distributed to all your new applicants, not who you think should. I'm hiring my friend's daughter. She doesn't have to fill out an application. Everybody fills out an application. Okay, everybody. Okay, so keep those things in mind. And if you are preparing an affirmative action plan, are they disclosing? So you'll have a form in there that includes them disclosing information that's needed for affirmative action purposes, or affirmative action preparation purposes, which a lot of federal and state and contractors may prepare a affirmative action plan. And that's what we have today. And we can really go on. Let's wrap up here. So your application, do application forms identify the relationship that it's an at-will company? And we talked about the applications, refraining from asking inappropriate information. Are your independent contractors accurately identified? Okay, and if you have an independent contractor, they're still filling out some kind of information to let you know who they are. Okay, So you're not just taking independent contractors and starting the work. They should fill out some kind of an application, or a independent contractor agreement. But you have to have something on, but some kind of paperwork, an employment package or an independent contractor package, so that you know who you're working with. Okay. You are reporting all of your new hires to the new hire reporting agency, and making sure that everyone is filling out all of their information correctly on their applications, on their I-9s, on their W-4s. That's why it's important that you have a HR information system, because then when you have an information in the HR information system, guess what? You can take the application package, you can send it to them, right? Put their name in there, put their email address in there, and you can send it to them. And then they're filling out filling out the form per the HR information system. Okay, so then you don't have to go back and say, hey, on this I-9 form, you didn't fill out whether a translator helped you. That's one that always gets me, because a lot of people, if you don't, they'll just put yes, or they're not reading it. Whereas if it's a HR information system, it'll let them know this needs to be required. This is required to be answered. And then they're filled out correctly. The W-4 through an HR information system is filled out correctly. Okay. And then that takes that responsibility. It alleviates not takes the responsibility off you, but it puts it with the HR information system, in the HR information system. And then you know that these forms are filled out correctly. Okay. Because if you're ever in an audit, that's going to be, that will be information that will be reviewed. Okay, so get in it. If you don't have an HR information system, make sure you have one, and make sure it's an HR information system that meets the needs of your organization, of your company, the individual needs of your company. Don't just go and get something like an HR information that's all crazy, that it's all pretty, it's got all the bells and whistles, and it takes you 45 minutes to onboard someone, or it's a payroll system and it takes you an hour, 2 hours just to do payroll, because you never, there's so many different things to be done. So make sure it's an HR information system that is streamlined and meets the needs of your organization. We have a HR resource guide, free HR resource guide that has been circulating. If you need it, just drop it. Let me know just that you want the HR 133 HR resources, and I'll drop that down to you. So that's what we have today. Okay, that's where we are today. We're sharing compliance questions, compliance answers for you. We have the ultimate HR audit checklist that is going around, and I can drop that link below. But that's what we have. We want to make sure you're compliant. We don't want you pulling your hair out for HR. Okay. So listen, that's what I have. Happy Top Talent Tuesday. Again, if you haven't had a chance, go on over to Instagram and follow us at All4HR. We are on LinkedIn at All4HR and Business Solutions. We are on Facebook at All4HR and Business Solutions. And we have that fantastic, the free HR group, the HR Success Hub. We're launching that academy shortly, within 2.5 weeks. We're excited about that. And our new virtual home is all4hr.co/all4hr. Okay. So have a wonderful day. Have a fantastic Top Talent Tuesday. You have any HR questions, drop them below. Don't forget about our Freedom Friday HR question. Drop it on any of our social media, and we select your question. We'll answer it on Friday. So Friday, we're going to answer somebody's HR question. Okay. So listen, have a great day, a great Top Talent Tuesday. I am speaking at the women's vendor event on Saturday, which is at the fantastic Space Lab Detroit. If you have not been there, um, take a moment to drop through there. It is a co-working space and just an absolutely beautiful facility. And we'll be working there uh, on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. There are free general admission, so I'll drop that link below. Come on over and come on down and do some networking on Saturday. If you're like me, you're still dragging out of there trying to do in-person network, but it's going to be a phenomenal event. And so we'd love to have you. Have a great one, everyone. And don't forget that business can be like a circus. So don't let HR be the elephant in the room. So go ahead and finish up your coffee. I'm going to knock mine out. Have a great day. And I'll see you guys. Tomorrow is Winning Wednesday, and we'll have our Winning Wednesday blog. All right, folks. Have a great one. Stay safe and be kind.